This is Branden with Extreme Networks. We're rebuilding my home lab, and we have set up ZTP to bring in our switches. We have added a few devices in here. All three of these were discovered via ZTP and added. And we're just kind of going to manually add a few more devices here and build out some more things. So let's go ahead and add our um, access control server and analytics servers in here. So I'm going to start over here with control. Um, Under my engines, I'm going to go to the access control engine tab and add, and put the IP address of that guy. So 168.1. What did I give it? 26. And I'll just give it a name. And add. Okay. And we will have to provide a license here, which it will allow us to just use an eval here. So we'll just click on the update button and use eval license. And there we go. It's now licensed for green. I'll go ahead and do an enforce, and an enforce all. It will present a warning, but we're going to ignore it. Basically, it's saying there's no switches configured yet, which is true. We haven't done that part yet. So we've got it in there. If we go back to our network, we can see NAC 1 has appeared. So we're in there. All right, and we'll go ahead and add our analytics server. So we'll go over to configuration. Analytics 1. Use our v3 profile because that's what we set up in the initial setup process. All right, and there it is. So we'll go ahead and do an enforce here. Down in there. Cool. All right. Let's push out our policy configuration. So we can use the default policy domain. Obviously, if this is specific to a particular customer type, we might gear this towards that customer and create some unique things. Like if we wanted to create a education style POC, we would create student faculty accounts. We want to create a healthcare POC, we might have doctor nurses. But just for now, to keep the video fairly short, I'm going to use the default one here and just go ahead and enforce that out to our devices. If I go to my devices here, and I don't actually have any defined yet, and I'm going to assign some devices to this domain. So I'll go ahead and select my switch and my wireless controller. All right. Cool. All right, those are in there. So I'm going to enforce those out. Before I do, let's hop in the controller and kind of show you what that looks like. Now we set that up earlier. HTTPS IP address :5825 is the default. And I said admin password. All right, and we've got an AP already discovered, so that's good. And that is my bedroom AP. So rename it there. And if I go here into my VNSs and look at my roles, and I got nothing. So go ahead and enforce this out. Enforcing. Cool. We want to save the domain database. It's saved and enforced. And if I refresh this screen, there they all are. There's all of the roles we created. So let's go ahead and create a new virtual network, or SSID, if you will, to broadcast. So I'll go ahead and name the WLAN service home pre-shared key. And It's my SSID I like to use. Okay, and I'll just use the administrator role for the non-authenticated. If we had like a captive portal or something, we would use. We might use unregistered as the unauthenticated, right, or non-authenticated role, so that the user would get redirected to that captive portal page, have to register, then we would flip them over to their appropriate role, right? But this is just a home lab pre-shared key, so we're just going to leave that there. We'll play around with the NAC configuration here in a little bit, so you can see that process. All right, cool. So we've got a wireless network there. I'm going to assign it to all radios. It's actually not letting me select anything else because I haven't applied a license yet. So we'll just save that for we'll table that for a second. But we've got our roles enforced out to our devices. So we've got everything in here, and we've got analytics fired up and NAC added. So so this is great. We've got some devices in here. If we go to our wireless tab, we're pulling in some data. Not yet because we haven't added our access points. So we're getting some good information here, making great progress.